Warning is in effect until 4:48 this afternoon. Radar shows a very large complex of thunderstorms now moving through Ionia County. This is going to be a lengthy cut-in, folks, for this tornado warning, so just buckle in. We'll get you through this cell as it moves through. Radar looks very impressive, but Jim, what you and I were watching, the velocity looks pretty impressive as well.
Well, you see that red and the green. It's that couple right there we always talk about, and that is moving in a northeasterly direction. Pretty quick pace, too, about 40 miles per hour moving from southwest to northeast, and this is about as vigorous as I've seen so far out this one.
Yeah, you add the reds and the greens up there, the reds moving in one direction away from the radar side and the greens in the other direction, and you combine those and that gives you about 105 miles per hour worth of rotation, and that's a very tight rotation. Those reds and greens are very close to each other. That means likely there is a tornado with this cell. I'm going to track from the rotation this particular cell. Blake, what was our heading on this cell?
Northeast at 40 miles per hour.
Northeast at 40 miles per hour. So on that track, it'll continue to move towards the north and east, and over the next, let's zoom out a little bit and get some more locations in here. As we zoom out and get you all of Ionia County and tracking from that center of rotation, there we go. Should be moving into Collins by 5:05, Pewamo by 5:16, North Plains by 5:20, Lebanon by 5:24 this afternoon. The rotation, easy to track. This is an easy one to pick out, but there's also Jim, also something else we can look at here. This is called the correlation coefficient. Very important, right?
Yeah, that means there not only it looks like it on radar, this is also showing debris there as it continues to move in a northeasterly direction too. So pretty much a confirmation there that there is a tornado. It's on the ground and it's moving to the northeast.
Yeah, where those colors kind of change a little bit there, what the radar does is radar sends out a beam and it says, you know, I see just raindrops or just hailstones, and so it paints itself one color, but where it kind of mixes up the colors, it's confused, doesn't know what it's seeing, and that oftentimes is an indication of debris. And you can see how it moved just to the north of Odessa and now moving towards the northeast and expanding a little bit. So there could be some significant debris inside of this particular thunderstorm, this particular tornadic thunderstorm. There it is just to the northwest of Portland. Other cells we're watching, because I'm going to pay a lot of attention to that cell, but to the southwest near Bellevue, there is a small cell which has at times produced a wall cloud, and that too moving to the northeast at around 35 to 45 miles per hour. So that'll probably pass over Bellevue very soon. No warning on that, but I've had chasers in that area sending images of a nice wall cloud, but this is classic tornado signature right here.
Yeah, and this one is along a line of showers and thunderstorms which haven't been moving very fast to the east. They're moving fast to the northeast right now. So we're keeping an eye on everything in that line at this time. Some of the others were a little bit farther to the east of that line, kind of on their own. That was the one that's heading toward Bellevue right now. But again, the one that is heading from the Odessa area northward across 96 already, and it's moving in a northeasterly direction. That is with the line of some of these thunderstorms. So we're going to keep a close eye all along that line of thunderstorms.
Now let's see if we can split screen this between the radar imagery and the Grand Ledge cam. If we can do that, let's make that happen so we can take a peek. I don't think, given where this rotation is, because you see all the rainfall right there, and there you go. Blake, rotate the camera around on the horizon, see if you can pick anything up.
Yep.
I believe because of where this storm is located, I mean, you look at where the velocity is, and it's right there, and I'll circle it for you because to get a visual on a tornado in the state of Michigan is often very difficult because many times it can be rain wrapped. Now, as we superimpose the radar back on there, you can see it's kind of buried underneath that precipitation. So even as we zoom around with the Grand Ledge cam, likely we're not going to be able to see that. Now, if it were a little bit closer, maybe we could pick something out, but I don't believe that is going to be the case. So here is a kind of a look at the warnings we have in effect. And notice, not a whole lot. One severe thunderstorm warning near South Bend, tornado warning in Ionia County, one to the north and east of mid-Michigan. And we also, Jim, we've got a watch to talk about.
Yes, this watch has been in effect for a while, and we've also added to that now from the Lansing area eastward. So that one is going to be in effect, first of all, until 8 o'clock, but then the next one expands till about 11 o'clock tonight. So in any case, or I should say 10 o'clock, so in any case, as this area moves from southwest to northeast, we'll be seeing some of those taken away on the far western edge. It's not going to happen here anytime soon. In fact, everything is moving in right now.
I mean, these individual cells, as Jim just pointed out, are moving at around 45 to 55 miles per hour, but the line itself is moving much, much slower, around 25 to 30 miles per hour. So that should put it in Lansing by around 543, Coldwater 609, Jackson 650, Hillsdale 659, maybe as far east as White Lake by 741. So it's going to take a little while to come through there.
We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Barry, Calhoun, Eaton, and Kalamazoo for 60-mile-per-hour winds.
All right, so new severe thunderstorm warnings being issued, or any indication if tornadoes are possible in
Tornado
that?
possible on this, yes.
Okay, so the National Weather Service today is issuing severe thunderstorm warnings, but understanding there's rotation in these storms, so they're warning folks that, yeah, it's a severe thunderstorm, but there could be a spin-up of a tornado in there as well. So there is a look, as Blake just said, of the new warning. This is in effect for Eaton County, as well as Calhoun, Kalamazoo, and Berry counties until 6 o'clock this evening. More severe weather warnings coming out as we speak. This is going to be for straight line winds. And Jim, I always find this interesting. We look at the velocity product, and we kind of gauge, what's happening with the winds. And as I started to inspect for the winds, yeah, there it is, right there near Bellevue. We've been watching this one for a while.
Yeah, and some of the spotters are out there too. We've seen some pictures of theirs. It has been so close to that reaching the ground. It had the wall cloud right near the ground, but so far, but it hasn't looked like that. However, you see the hook echo, very indicating that this is possibly either a tornado or it's about to. It's so close right now.
What's produced a wall cloud several times, which is you get a wall cloud, then you get a funnel cloud. If it touches down, you have a tornado. And we've already seen it via spotters producing wall clouds this afternoon. Let's head back further to the north. We've got to get everyone in Ionia County ready. And I want to give you some tornado safety tips in just a moment, but I want to point out where this tornado could be. And it appears, Jim, that's encouraging to me. Let's back this up a little bit, because I know you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing right there. Looks good, right? But then this next image, it's kind of beginning to come apart a little bit. So I hope that continues. Let's check our debris tracker. Debris tracker still shows some possible debris there. So, and this is right over 96. There is is that 64? Is that right? M64?
M66.
66? Sorry. Font is a little small on my screen. So M66 and 96. So it's right at that intersection where that possible debris has just passed over to the west of Portland. If we kind of back this up, let's go about 30 minutes and watch how this debris moved. You can see how...
Tornado warning for Calhoun and Eaton County. Confirmed tornado near Bellevue, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour.
All right, new tornado warnings, folks. Let's zoom out and let's tell you about those. I'm going to go back first. There's a look at the radar. As you can see, the storm's moving in. Here is a check of the warnings. Now, two new warnings. This includes Charlotte, and this also includes northern sections of Calhoun County. Tornado warning until 5:45 this afternoon. I'm going to clear this off, and we're going to do a little investigation ourselves and look at where the possible tornado could be. Now, don't let your guard down if you are north of Charlotte. Vermontville, north over towards Grand Ledge, there still could be some damaging winds. Potterville, you're right on the edge of this tornado warning. But let's look at the velocity. Jim, it's got to be that same cell, right?
It is, yeah, very bright there. And again, it is heading northeasterly, so that's why they put that warning in effect now.
Right. And Blake, can you look on that information? I assume the Weather Service is saying based on radar, correct?
Well, there was someone on the storm, so let me look at the actual text here and see what the Weather spotters confirm the tornado.
Weather spotters confirm a tornado. So this is confirmed by human eyes. So that's much better ground truth for us. Oh, looks a little better there, doesn't it?
Yep, there's the next move on it. And you can see, boy, they're back to back there, the red, the green, and also very fast, both sides as well. And as we saw on the radar, we also could switch over to the debris, and there was quite a bit of that.
Right, right. Tornado safety tips. If you're in Bellevue, if you're in the path of this storm, and we'll outline areas to be affected again momentarily, here are your tornado safety tips. It's really simple how this works. It is not the wind that kills you, it's the wind throwing things around, the debris that causes fatalities. So if you put as many walls between you and the outside, you will greatly increase your chances of surviving a tornado. A hallway, a bathroom, a basement's going to obviously be best, but if you don't have a basement, a hallway or a bathroom, you head in there. If your kid's got a football helmet, throw that on. Put a mattress over yourself. Anything to protect you from falling debris or flying debris, and that is what you want to do to stay safe.
Hey, David, we got a report from Rob Dale, the AM County Emergency Manager, that there are Ionia Fire was just dispatched to a house hit by a tornado somewhere in Ionia, over in Ionia County. So
okay, so now we have confirmation of damage being reported in Ionia County, and of course, I mean, let's track this path. So I'm going to put a couple little dots on here, and we're going to try to keep track of everything happening for you. So that's where our rotation ended up. And back here, so somewhere in this path is where there's probably some damage from a tornado moving through southern sections of Ionia County and just to the west now of Portland. This is where the rotation is, and that's where our tornado warning is. We're going to take you further south because I want to get some storm tracks on this cell. Blake, I assume storm motion is still around 45 miles per hour?
Yeah, the warning for this one was northeast at 35.
Okay. All right, so we will do a storm track from the center of rotation, and we'll leave that. And currently, if that moves to the north and east, warning's just along the edge of Potterville. That puts it in Charlotte. You need to go ahead and seek your shelter right now. What time is it now? 5:01. So you've got about 19 minutes to be in your safe area, and you want to be there a little bit before that. So probably 10, 15 minutes. You need to be in your basement, interior room, away from doors and windows. Potterville by 5:30. Kingsland by 5:33, Diamonddale by 5:37, a potential impact from what is being characterized right now as a confirmed tornado. Very serious situation, Jim.
Yeah, and this one is one of those rogue cells. It's all by itself, moving in a northeast as opposed to in along with that line as well. So it's got its own energy there. It's got that typical hook echo as well. So that was a pretty good indication. There is a rather rough tornado coming in that northeasterly direction as well. And again, this is something you don't want to mess with. You should be in the house already, and like you said, away from the windows, the interior part of the house, down in the basement, whatever you can to get away from those windows.
Go ahead, Blake.
Sorry, just an update on the Ionia County tornado warning. They have dropped the confirmation on that, so it is now radar indicated, so no longer confirmation on that tornado in Ionia County.
Check our debris tracker. Still shows a little bit there, so whatever was lofted into this cell, we know there's some damage now, so whatever got thrown up into that storm could still be there. That's why you have the different shading of colors with that. So potentially there is still a little debris falling along I-96 just west of Portland.
And it could also, while it is up in the air, the actual tornado itself could be gone and moving away from there, but the debris is still up in the air. That's why it's still being picked up.
Right. I don't have as clear a signature on this cell. There may be a little bit of debris, but doesn't look as clear cut as the other cell did. So possible debris very close to Bellevue, but that hook echo is right over Bellevue right now. The rotation is almost right over Bellevue. It's about to cross the highway there, getting a little bit closer to I-69. So that cell will be moving in very soon. Let's split screen between the radar and our WLNS tower cam. Let's look off towards the southwest if we can and take a look at what we have there. So Blake, make sure we've got it. That is towards the west-southwest. So maybe a little more southwesterly there, Blake, and we'll see if we can pick that cell up as it starts to come in. We'll kind of check back with these from time to time. But boy, Jim, this thing is, I mean, we've been, we kind of watched it, what, for an hour or more now?
Yeah, it was way down in southwest Michigan, and it just kept going. It eased up a little bit. It was kind of hard to tell if it was just going to fall apart, and then it started to just grow up all over again, and now it's a very strong tornado that's moving northeast.
Yeah, I would say in terms of velocity, it looks a lot more impressive to me than the storm that's in Portland. If you're just joining us, a reminder of who's under what watch and warning, because we have got a lot of them out there. Let me zoom out a little bit more. And first warning is in Ionia County. That is a tornado warning. That is in effect until 5:45 this afternoon. Again, we have confirmation of damage in Ionia County, so we know that the tornado touched down there. And then as you look a little further to the south, of course, Eaton County close to Potterville and Charlotte, tornado warning in effect until 5:45 for Calhoun and Eaton counties as well. And then, of course, I mean, even if you're not affected by the tornado warning, northern sections, including Grand Ledge, the western side of Lansing, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Berry, Calhoun, Eaton, Kalamazoo County, and that warning is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. So multiple warnings in effect.
Yeah, and this is going to parallel 69 and maybe even cross over. And I was just thinking right now, that is down to one lane in each direction too, and there aren't a lot of areas to get off of that as well. If you're thinking about going north or south on 69, wait it out now, because yeah, this is a storm that is really going to probably intensify even a little bit more as it continues to move northeast. It has been showing that anyway.
You make a great point, Jim, with the highway.
Hey, we got a tornado warning for Clinton County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Portland, moving east-northeast at 35 miles per hour.
Okay, new tornado warning now in effect. Thanks for that, Blake. This is in effect for all of Clinton County, including St. John's. New tornado warning now issued until 6 o'clock this evening. Same cell, but evidently the rotation is still strong enough to perhaps produce a tornado. I want to make this point about 69 before we zoom in towards St. John's. If you are on 69 or know someone on 69 heading south towards this storm, find an exit, get off, head into a convenience store, a grocery store, some substantial structure. You do not want to be on the highway approaching this cell, because we've already had confirmation of a tornado with it, and so don't take any chances. Just exit the highway, find a sturdy structure to stay safe from this cell. Further to the north, now here's our cell moving into Clinton County. Go back to our velocity product. That's the easiest way to tell, and it's the same cell that did produce a tornado. As Jim and I just pointed out right there, that is a classic-looking tornado signature for us. But as we zoom this out and put this in motion, yeah, it's still rotating quite a bit. Doesn't look quite as pronounced, though, does it?
No, but it still is holding its own. I think we still got some pretty good speed in that as it's moving northeast, so I'm sure that's why they put out the warning. Probably not for the entire county, however, but in any case, it is continuing to move pretty much the same way it was moving in Ionia County, so in the northern and western part of Clinton County. Certainly you have to be careful there.
Just an update on the Bellevue tornado. It remains confirmed as of 5:05 p.m. So.
Okay, so just a couple minutes ago, it was still a confirmed tornado near Bellevue. We'll go back in on this cell, and thanks for the information. Yeah, this rotation, Jim, is looking pretty good.
Yeah, and right on 69, too. So that probably did graze Olivet, if not just a little bit to the west of there. But still, in any case, this is a pretty strong storm that's moving northeast right now. And again, it's almost as if it's following 69 at this time. As far as that's the direction it's moving, from southwest to northeast. So anyone is in that area, you pretty much know what's next going from 69 northeastward.
I mean, you can follow that very clearly heading up 69. So if you live along I-69, and that includes Charlotte, you need to seek shelter from this storm, because you can see you're not too far away. If you're very lucky, maybe it'll pass you a little on the south side, but do not take any chances. Let's storm track these areas of rotation once again. This cell is moving at around 45 miles per hour. Let me change my speed, and we'll storm track this for you all the way into Lansing, because I'm not sure that it's going to weaken before then. Charlotte by 5:19, Potterville by 5:28, Diamonddale 5:33, 5:42, Lansing over by Cooley Law Stadium by 5:44 this afternoon.
That's fast.
Yeah, that's zipping along.
Yeah.
So, this is not the time to wait and go outside and look for it, because it's going to be covered in rain. You're not going to see it until it's too late. So basement's the place you want to be if you live in the path of this storm. And again, the warning that's out by the National Weather Service includes, Charlotte and up to, but not quite to Lansing. But that very well could be extended as it continues to move in. For those just joining us, you wonder, what do I do as a tornado approaches? Here are your tornado safety tips. The science behind this is super simple. The tornado is going to throw things around, debris, 2x4s, building structure, pieces of trees. So those are basically just projectiles, missiles flying through the air. To protect yourself from that, all you have to do is get inside and get away from doors, get away from windows, get away from any weak wall or structure. So if you're in an interior hall or bathroom, that's usually a good place. Now, if you've got a basement, that's going to be by far the best place to be. You're below ground. If you're going to get, in your bathtub, that's a good place as well. You can, take the kids' football helmets, put those on your head to protect your head. A little mattress, throw it over the top to protect yourself. Whatever you can do to eliminate debris hitting you, making contact with you, is going to potentially save your life. Go back over to our radar right now, Jim, where it continues to look, very impressive, very intense line of storms now moving through. Blake, did you have a new update over there?
I was just looking at there are a few reports from dispatch or a few homes south of Jordan Lake that may have some damage, and a box truck flipped over as well. So just reiterating, in Lake Odessa, it does appear as though there was a tornado that touched down.
Let me know if you see anything on our social tracker as well.
Yeah, I'm watching that as well.
All right, so we've got information flowing in fast and furious this afternoon. To recap, we have tornado warnings, multiple tornado warnings in effect with confirmed tornadoes across mid-Michigan this afternoon. The current warnings in effect, if you are just joining us, Clinton County, tornado warning in effect until 6 o'clock tonight with a confirmed tornado that's been moving through. We've had reports of damage, significant damage, across portions of Ionia County. To the southwest of that, we have an additional severe tornado warning that is in effect with a confirmed tornado, and that is in Eaton County, moving right along I-69. So 2 tornado warnings in the mid-Michigan area. And then we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6 o'clock because of the potential of damaging winds. Had a viewer ask me a moment ago, Jim, if there was any hail with this. And we can look and see if there is any. It's really small. Today is not really a big hail day. So I think the hail threat's going to be very low, pea size, maybe some marble size hail, maybe.
Yeah, it's been almost too warm. The humidity has been way up there. The temperatures have just made it into the 80s now, so it's not one of those where you're going to see the billowing clouds way up ahead and lots of hail ready to just drop on you. No, it's a different one today, but still it is very dangerous, especially, again, that one that's coming up right up almost on 69 right now.
This cell, if you are watching us from Bellevue, hopefully you're doing it on your mobile device in your basement, pardon me, but if you are watching us right now, the cell is just about past you, so another 5 or 6 minutes and things will begin to improve, but I don't want you to let your guard down because there are more cells to the southwest of you which could easily begin to rotate, and this cell is going to track right up I-69, so as it gets a little bit closer, we're going to take a look. In fact, we can split screen with our WLNS tower cam and just take a look off in that direction. Right now, I suspect, because there's so much rain, you look at the rainfall, so we obviously don't have a good eyesight to the bottom of that storm, but if it holds together over the Lansing area, then we'll get a great vantage point of what the storm is doing and if it indeed has a tornado on the ground as it passes through Lansing.
Yeah, looking down that area, at least what we're seeing is the darkest part right there too, so there's another indication, even though it's kind of a weak indication, but it is that this thing is coming up from the southwest right now.
As we look, you can see the velocity still holding firm. Blake and Jim and I were watching these cells form earlier today, and we were amazed how the rotation just held together in the storm cycle. They would weaken and they get stronger, and that is exactly what this cell is doing. This is almost making a beeline for Charlotte right now. So if you live in Charlotte, go ahead and head to your basement. Take your mobile device. You can watch us on WLNS.com, or if you've got a laptop, do it that way. Whatever means you have to watch us, do so, but do it in a safe area. This is not a situation you want to head outside and try to snap a few pictures of this as it rolls in. Safety first. Head to your basement or your interior room and stay very safe. So no reason really to venture out until this is passed, and it is traveling right up 69.
Yeah, I was thinking as you were talking about getting safe, the kids, they all have bike helmets.
Yes, yeah, great.
Yeah.
Just throw that bike helmet on. That'll give you some protection. in the event the tornado does hit. Now, for our neighbors in Clinton County, let's talk about your storm for a moment. Rotation on that cell. Go ahead, Blake.
We're just getting reports of sirens that are now sounding in DeWitt and Grand Ledge. So.
All right, so sirens going off in DeWitt and Grand Ledge. Now, let me be clear for the folks in Grand Ledge. I want to pop up the warning here because we get this a lot. Right now, in northern sections of Ingham County, there is a severe thunderstorm warning. There is not a tornado warning. And rotation, it's not really over Grand Ledge. So you may have a severe storm. You may get some winds, but there's not a tornado bearing down on Grand Ledge right now. So let me just ease your thoughts there. The cell to the north, I got to tell you, as a meteorologist, for a tornado, I don't particularly love that a lot. I mean, it doesn't, the reds and greens not beside each other, a little broader, and it looks a little more, well, let's look at the debris tracker. There may still be a little bit in there, though.
A little bit. It is diminishing, but it's still there. So, again, this could just be more of the wind of this, just picking it up, even from a decaying tornado.
The tornado warning in Ionia has just ended, by the way.
Beautiful.
So
We thought that might be the case. I want to go back then. We'll focus back to the south. Here is the velocity that's getting close to Charlotte. We've had a confirmed tornado from this storm. But let's look at our debris tracker. I still don't see any definitive signs there of debris being lofted up. Possibly a little bit. The radar might not be seeing, but I don't see anything that's too alarming to me. But as Blake said a moment ago, we've had spotters in the area that confirm this tornado on the ground. And it's still got a bit of a hook there.
Well, that radar is going through one area of thunderstorms, too, before it gets to the next one where we are looking right now, too. There's a possibility it could be just as strong as we
We've got an update to the warning for Eaton. As of 5:14, it was confirmed, and the fire department is reporting a visual of a tornado just west of Eaton Rapids at this time.
Just west of Eaton Rapids. So obviously you can see Eaton Rapids right there on your screen, and the direction spot on. That's where they would be seeing it. It's to the west. So just west of Eaton Rapids, where this rotation couplet is located, that is where they are saying that we've got a tornado on the ground. And this is from the fire department out of Eaton Rapids. So thanks to those guys for letting us know that. We really appreciate it. It's still traveling right along 69. I hope that everyone was able to get off the highway and get to their safe space, get to a convenience store, department store, any kind of structure. The car on the highway, that's kind of the last place you want to be. And there's a lot of stores through that area, or maybe even someone's home who will let you, come in there and shelter out through this storm. We want you to be safe. And kind of parking an underpass, that is not a good place to be because the winds can really funnel through those things.
It's going to be faster.
Right. Yeah. You get the Bernoulli effect, and the winds accelerate. If you're not in your car, it can just suck you right out of there, and any debris will be accelerated as it comes through. So it's really just not a safe place to be. So a structure is going to be your best bet. That's where our center of circulation is. I'm going to zoom back out. I want to storm track this again. Some of storm coverage, if you've watched a lot of our storm coverage, you know that storm coverage can be repetitive, but it's deliberately repetitive because lots of people tune in at different times, and so we want to give some of the same information over and over because new people are tuning in. The rotation, the tornado, confirmed tornado, moving to the northeast around 40 to 45 miles per hour will affect Potterville by 5:32. Kingsland by 5:34, Diamonddale by 5:37. And for whatever reason, our radar has New Life Fitness on there. But if you know where that is, 5:44 this afternoon is when that will roll through there. So those are some of the areas that could be affected by this. Obviously, lightning strikes are a concern whenever you have thunderstorms. But today, this is interesting, Jim, and you and I have talked about this earlier. There's not a whole lot of lightning.
No. Most of those are on that one line of thunderstorms. We've got one that's actually out ahead of that tornado that's heading toward Charlotte right now. So, again, there isn't a whole lot of the lightning. It's really just all about right now the wind and the tornadoes. It's
got to be, what we talked about earlier. The atmosphere is just so warm and moist today. It's not conducive to produce a lot of lightning. So that's why I think we're having really nasty, severe weather, but not much lightning. Very interesting. So we've got our velocity right there over Highway 69. It is traveling right along the highway, going to come very close to Charlotte. Let me do a little slow time lapse here, and you can kind of follow the motion. And on that track, it should pass just to the southeast of Charlotte, but not by much. So any areas, there is St. Mary's Boulevard, Island Highway, maybe not as far northwest as Lansing Street, but those are just a couple. Here's a few more. If you live on Flanders Road, Eaton Green Drive, Stewart Road, let's look a little further to the south, Broadway Highway, Brookfield Road. All of these roads are in the path, and it will be there momentarily. You don't want to wait. You want to get into your basement or safe area right now because of a potentially dangerous tornado heading your direction. Debris tracker still not sure, exactly what to make of that, except what you said, Jim. It's shooting through a lot of material to get to this storm and just having trouble seeing it. The other storms, if you're watching from Lansing, there is a strong thunderstorm capable of producing damaging winds moving in. And then on top of that, we've got our cell to the south, which is traveling to the north and east, generally heading towards Lansing.
New severe thunderstorm warning for Ingham with tornado possible on it.
Okay, new severe thunderstorm warning issued now for Ingham County. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 6:15 tonight. And the National Weather Service, again, putting that wording in their severe thunderstorm warning, which says tornado is still possible. What they're saying is we see some rotation and things are changing so quickly inside these storms that there could still be a tornado produced.
It looks like right now, too, it has crossed over on 69, turned a little bit more to the northeast. And if that's the case, that it's going to just continue and, well, it's heading toward Lansing eventually, but if it holds together, that's the thing. But again, it's going to be crossing M50 pretty soon right now, too. So between Eaton Rapids and Charlotte, you don't want to go to one city or the other right now.
Here's a little 30-minute time lapse of this cell, and I'm going to draw a line through here and give you kind of a best guess on the exact track. And if we follow that, and then we just kind of leave that out, that would take it more towards South Lansing and the Holt area. Again, assuming that tornado does hold together. So if you live in this area right now, even South Lansing, Holt, Diamonddale, go ahead and seek shelter. The rotation is currently basically over Narrow Lake Road, and then what else? We got Sherman Road there, Brookfield Drive. That rotation's right overhead on those corners. We'll zoom out a little bit. You can see Cochran Road and 69. It just moved past there and is about to move over M50 very, very soon, just to the east of Charlotte. Anyone in those areas needs to be out of their vehicle in a structure, a sturdy structure, away from doors and windows.
And this just has held together. You can still see a bit of that hook echo coming out of that cell right now as it continues to move to the northeast. So really not a whole lot has changed as far as the debris that is, I think, is going to be there, and also the fact that these winds with any tornado are very strong, and they've just been showing up pretty much from when it was down into where it was below Bellevue.
Right.
It just continues to move, and it's pretty much those same colors are still there.
Let's see if we can split screen between the Jackson cam and our radar here. And Blake, if you can kind of cruise around the horizon. Again, this cell is pretty far from our Jackson cam, but there's no storms in the way. There may be some cloud covers. Just wanted to check and see if we can make out any storm structure from this far away. And you can just pan that camera around so you kind of get a good vantage point of where that storm would be. And
kind of hard to tell.
Keep going, keep going.
Just a little too far.
Yeah, a little bit too far for that cam. We'll wait for it to get closer to the WLNS tower cam. So back to the radar we go, and we continue to follow what has been a confirmed tornado with several reports of damage as this storm has moved through portions of Eaton County. We've had tornado damage in Ionia County as well. Radar still looks pretty good, and this is just to the southeast, but it's going to pass between Charlotte and Eaton Rapids. Don't let your guard down if you live in either one of those locations. You can still see damage, but the circulation, the center of circulation, is just to the east of I-69. And put in that perspective, you can see where it is in relation to some of the other locations like Diamonddale. Let me zoom back in a little bit, get some of those to pop up.
Got an update on that tornado warning in Eaton County. As of 5:23, it was still a confirmed tornado near Charlotte, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour.
Confirmation source, Blake?
Let me take a peek.
We'll see if that's they're indicating it's radar confirmed or if it's
Law enforcement
human.
confirmed.
Law enforcement still reports a tornado on the ground. So we still have human eyes on this cell. And that's, when you're a meteorologist, that's the best kind of eyes to have on it, your real human eyes who can actually see it. This storm continues to track northeast at around 40 to 45 miles per hour. It's moved a little bit more to the right, as Jim said, to the northeast. So on that trajectory, we'll be in Kingsland by 5:35, which is almost right now. Diamonddale, you're up next, 5:38. Seek shelter immediately. Holt by 5:46. Potter Park Zoo could be that far north. Maybe that'll be the furthest north it goes, it looks like. By 5:49, our center of circulation should pass overhead. And of course, once it gets a little closer to, say, Diamonddale, then our LNS cam will pick it up a little bit better and we can get a little bit better vantage point. For those of you watching in St. John's or just tuning in, you got that tornado warning. Blake, what's the update on the tornado warning in Clinton County?
Yeah, not much. They haven't posted a whole lot. No confirmation of any tornado there. At this point, it continues to be radar indicated.
Right. Tornado warning in effect until 6 o'clock. This includes St. John's. But, Jim, as you and I talked about, I mean, we love our data and we love to look at velocity because it's the easiest way to tell. And what do you see there?
Well, it's not like what it was before. I'll put it that way. We still do have a couplet. It's kind of weakening a little bit. It's still there. I still have that, the red, the green there. I don't think there's any debris with that, is there, though?
Yeah, well, let's take a look. So let me go back. I want to show you right there, just to the south of I-96, tight reds and greens. That's where we had the tornado. Now it's much, much, much broader. In terms of debris, it's all gone.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably significant rotation. It could spin another tornado, but I'd be surprised if there were still one on the ground because we have no debris and the rotation is looking much, much weaker. Further to the south, though, different story with this cell. This cell is continuing to just chug along and do its thing and still looks pretty good as far as rotation. Let's get a measure of the rotation. We've got winds moving towards the radar site at 46 miles per hour, and we just got a new scan. Wouldn't you know it? So let me clear that, slide along, and reevaluate. We've got winds moving in this direction towards the radar site at 40 miles per hour, and then let's see, I'm going to do a couple here, 10 miles per hour, 15, so around 55 miles per hour worth of rotation. That is significantly lower than it was a couple scans ago.
Yeah, we're not saying it's done. It's not over, but yeah, it has weakened a little bit, and that's a good thing, and it continues to move pretty much on that same track, moving in the northeast right now.
I just want to make a quick note. Someone had asked, they were unable to get a hold of someone who was in Ionia County, and there are a few power outages between Freeport and Lake Odessa, so we have not received any significant damage confirmation, but there are power outages there, so if you're having difficulty reaching anyone there, that's probably part of the issue.
Right. So at least some damage. Although, Blake, did you have a report earlier of a home damage?
We had reports of a few homes damaged, yeah, so waiting on confirmation or any pictures of that, but yeah, we did get that from Rob Dale, or at least the first report.
Right, okay. So we have reports of damage from a probable tornado in Ionia County, and then we had a confirmed tornado that moved very close to Bellevue and now just south of Charlotte. There's a little more. Look at that.
Almost the same spot, too, just north of Bellevue. I'm watching that one, too. You can see how it kind of kinks there. That line was pretty straight, and all of a sudden, it's starting to turn a little bit.
We may be getting a second tornado forming very close to Bellevue.
Hey, also look down closer to Union City, between Vicksburg and Union City, down and about to enter Calhoun County. There's another area of some interesting velocity that might have to be watched.
Oh, yeah. Here's another area. This could be a potential tornado forming. This is... let's see. Go back. There we go. There's the other radar source. So this is going to move into Calhoun County very soon.